Black Sabbath on Six Music. Welcome to Diverse Music here in Newport, ahead of Record Store Day on the weekend. I feel like I've won a competition because for the next couple of minutes we are with Nicky in Diverse. How are you, Nick?
I'm alright, yeah, it's always nice to be in a record shop.
You love this place?
Yeah, it's great. I think all record shops, if you've grown up with them, are just a place of solace, really, isn't it? It's not just a place of buying music, it's like an escape from the madness of the outside world. And it's great that this has survived so long in Newport.
So let's talk more about Diverse in a bit, and Spillers and Swansea, but we've just heard Black Sabbath, because that means the world to you.
Yeah, that was the first 7-inch I bought from Martin Luther Records in Blackwood, which was a brilliant record shop. Me and James and Richie and Sean used to go there all the time, ordering records, but Black Sabbath, Neon Nights. Ronnie James Dio is very underrated in Sabbath. Obviously Ozzy's the king, but it's a really good period, the Ronnie James Dio. I was a real metalhead then at that point.
So how old were you buying that, do you remember?
I would say 11 or 12. My brother was 15, so yeah, he's 4 years older, so roughly like, because he'd moved on a bit by now. He was becoming the cooler kid after indoctrinating me into Rush. He bought London Calling, I think, by The Clash, but yeah, that was mine. James's was My Old Piano. I think he bought that from Martin Luther Records, Diana Ross.
Have you still got your Black Sabbath 7-inch?
Yeah, I've got a fine collection of 7-inches from those days. I have. My mum used to order me records. I remember she ordered Sparkling Rain for me with the free poster, Simple Minds and stuff. But yeah, it wasn't particularly indie, if you know what I mean. It was a slightly broader, but there was a Woolworths as well in Blackwood, which had some good stuff. Tell
us about Newport. So how far from Blackwood, where Manic's famously formed, are we right now?
30-40 minutes.
Okay.
I'd say a bit longer on the bus. We used to come down on the bus. Rock Scene Records was the main record shop in Newport, and they'd run all trips to gigs as well. They were a fine institution. I've got a strange collection of carrier bags, and I've still got a Martin Luther and a Rock Scene Records from 30, 40 years old. I think Paul Eaton does the same thing.
So tell me more about the record bags then, the actual bags you get in record shops. Do you do that everywhere you go around the world?
Up until about 10 years ago, when my wife threatened to throw them all out.
Fair enough. I get it.
It was getting a bit out of hand. But yeah, it got, from Tokyo to Perth to Edinburgh to Newport.
You stayed in Newport, Nick. You still live here. So I know the men, will meet them, Paul and Matt, in the shop here in Diverse shortly. So you'd come in here and buy some new releases normally? Yeah,
wherever I'm after, and they hold me records. They're very nice to me. Come to pick the red vinyl of Ren's album, which they've had a couple of months for me actually. I've been quite busy, and I'm going to buy Jane Weaver's record.
Go and ask Paul if he's got the Ren record in for you.
Got it for me, sir?
I think so. Let me go and have a look.
Oh, we should play some Ren right here, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you into this?
I'd love to hear Sick Boy, that's great.
While I'm bleeding, I'm the reason, 'cause I'm doing the same.
Nicky has just bought the Ren album on red vinyl here at Diverse Music. We're in Newport ahead of Record Store Day and served by Paul and Matt. Matt, tell me what Record Store Day means for an independent record shop in beautiful Newport.
I think it just gets people excited. We have had people go straight to the pub, go to a gig, and then queue up straight afterwards at 3 a.m, a bit worse for wear, and stay out all night. But there's just a buzz around the town. There's a kind of buzz in here. It's a great atmosphere, and obviously people get to pick up limited vinyl and limited records that they've been waiting for a while for.
Talking of regulars then, Paul, obviously Nicky has been in quite a bit over the years. What does he buy? You can name and shame it on Six Music right now.
Oh, yes, that's client confidentiality, surely. Couldn't possibly say. But
we do have a lot of moaning. I do come in for a good rant. I do inspire them, I think, with my tardiness.
Yeah, we put the world to rights. We normally twist his arm into something he's not quite sure about. Make him promote something we're doing.
The musicians who come in here, I've seen some pictures of Goldie Looking Chain buying records here over the years. Bug Club most recently, I think.
Bug Club come in. Goldie Looking Chain, we cheat really because one of them works here.
And you mentioned Julian Cope used to pop in as well, Paul.
Cope, yes, he when we were at the other end of town actually, quite a while ago, he used to pop in with a couple of his musician friends and Yeah, it was quite interesting to see him, but we've had a few famous faces in over the years. Van Morrison, actually, one time, which was quite fun. But,
what did Van Morrison buy?
He asked about a few things at the counter. I can't quite remember whether he walked away with anything, but we had a good chat, and he did actually laugh at one point.
Wow.
That was a wow from Nicky Wyatt.
Do you boys remember Roxine? You must do remember Roxine.
Yes.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Jeff, the manager, is a regular here.
Right.
I'm surprised he hasn't turned up yet, actually, because he's normally about now.
Yeah.
When did Diverse open then, Matt?
1988, Diverse opened, and we've been in the current location from, well, what year was that, Paul?
25 years.
25 years, yeah.
We moved here in 99.
And in terms of Newport changing as a city, like what's happening in Newport now, Matt? I know you're evangelical about what's happening in the current crop of new bands coming out of Newport.
Yeah, it's after a tiny bit of a lull, it's really good at the moment. I mean, Murder Club are excellent, the Nightmares are excellent, and obviously the Corn Exchange has just opened, which is a new 500 cap venue here, so there'll be a lot more bigger gigs and another place for bands to play, which would be excellent. Also, lots of the kind of members work or have worked in here and Le Pub, and there's a bit of a community again. I mean, Zach from Chroma does our socials for us and is involved with the Corn Exchange as well.
Should we play some Chroma? Should we do something off Ask for Angela? Has that been selling, Paul?
It has, yes, very well, absolutely.
And Chroma have got a busy year because supporting Foo Fighters in Manchester.
And Himalayas are also supporting Foo Fighters, and James from the band has worked in Le Pub as well, so that's another link to that. So, again, big scene. Lily from Murder Club used to work here, and her dad, Matt, is in the Darling Buds and also a regular here, so it's all interlinked. It's great.
We'll talk more with Nicky Wyatt here at Diverse Music after Chroma then. It's Chroma, it's Six Music. I'm with Nicky Wyatt in his favourite record shop, Diverse Music, here in Newport. Should we go through the racks then, Nick?
That is a great album. Sadly, obviously, Kurt Ballinger passed away.
So World Party.
For starting boy, I think.
Yeah. And Carl, who you mentioned from World Party, I was listening to his version of She's the One, which is the original. Robbie Williams took it global. I once saw Robbie Williams, Nick, coming out of Spillers Records in Cardiff, right?
Yeah.
And straight out and into a waiting car. And I went in and I went, what did Robbie Williams buy? He'd bought Stereophonics and Super Furry Animals, Radiator, and I think Word Gets Around on CD.
That's the only thing I moan at these lot in years, the lack of CDs.
Do you like a CD?
I love CDs. They're so undervalued. I'm like, haven't you got in CD? And they're like, no, well, we can't make any profit on that.
Taylor Swift section. Every record shop now has to have a big Taylor Swift section because the vinyl is massive and she's continuously re-evaluating her music.
Yeah, and she's really pushed the vinyl angle as well, hasn't it? I think she realises the tactile nature of a product is very worthwhile and sort of gives a greater attachment to the person you're buying it. That's where I find it. Anyway.
Then we're in Tom Waits and Elvis Costello. We're in the local and Welsh artists here. Let's have a flick through this. Look, this is... where's it gone? Look at this. Who's this?
Oh, it's my brother with the great John Robb. He recorded the poems in our studio, I think, and then sent them to John Robb, and he put a load of music together. Quite powerful stuff. My brother's the mad one of the family. People think it's me, but it's him, definitely.
We're in the hip-hop section here. The blues. Behind you is the Americana country. This is big for Diverse as well, isn't it, this Americana?
I think it is for everyone now, isn't it? There's something, I think, when you hit 45 to 50 where you seek comfort and a sort of, I don't know, something that just makes you feel warm, which a lot of this does. Because a lot of it's actually not that good, but it just makes you feel nice.
Well, that's all right, isn't it?
What's the one is it Hooray for the Riff Raff? I love that album. Right. Well, I think I love it. And then I played to James and he went, I've heard it all before, Wire.
A customer's just walked in. But Nick, it's not just any customer. You're just talking about...
No, I was just recounting how amazing Roxine Records was, coming down from Blackwood and all the trips you used to run and the carrier bag that I still have.
I used to manage Roxine for 13 years. It was a great record store.
It was.
We had a lot of regular customers coming from afar.
Yeah.
It was quite different to what everybody else was doing at the time. The owners brought a lot of ideas sort of over from America. We had imports, things you just couldn't get.
What are you buying today, Jeff?
Just going to have a look and see what's around, see what's available. Anything new come in.
Nicky was literally just talking about your shop.
Rock scene, we'd all come, and loads of my friends went on so many trips that they went as well. In fact, I met my future wife in Rock Scene Records, looking at Smell a Female by Cramps.
Well, there we go. What can we say?
We're still married. 30 years later, we're still married.
Wow.
You met over a record?
Well, I just glanced at her and I thought, oh, she looks nice. And we sort of said hello. It took a while after that, but yeah, that's the first time I met her.
That sounds like a cue to play the Cramps on Six Music, if ever there was one. That's beautiful. Cramps on Six Music. Nicky Wire's ultimate love song. maybe. It's been lovely.
My wedding dance song.
It's been lovely wandering around diverse music. So you're picking up the Wren today.
I am,
Do you think you're going to buy something else today, Nicky?
I'm buying Jane Weaver as well.
Oh, yeah, nice. We'll be in Swansea on Friday at Tangle Parrot. And you went to uni in Swansea.
I did indeed, me and Richie and Derek's Records. And I think there was one in the market. I can't remember if it was either Musicquarium or Music Aquarium. That was a really good store. And Tangle Parrot in Carmarthen I've been to as well, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I've kind of indoctrinated my kids a bit into doing the same thing, and they definitely bought into that. They quite resist the digital world, which is nice.
And you mentioned Spillers earlier, the oldest record shop in the world, called just down the road in Cardiff.
Yeah.
And that opened your eyes to a world of music, did it, when you were young?
It did, yeah. Me and James used to busk there and earn enough money to buy records that especially the sort of Creation C86 Axis, that was really crucial for us. And James much more with Big Flame and Lime Spiders, more punk edgy kind of stuff, and that's where famously Steve Albini walked past us, ignored us when we were busking to get money into Spillers. We told him that 20 years later when he was recording with us, and he went, yeah, that sounds like me.
That's brilliant, isn't it? And you also campaigned to save Spillers back in the day, didn't you? Yeah,
my last attempt at activism. No, it just seemed the right thing to do, and I think that since the move, the record shops, the Spillers has flourished anyway, and it's good that we still got the ones left, and these moments of solace are really important, I think.
Spillers, diverse, Manic, still going strong.
God knows how.
You've got a summer of these big gigs with Suede.
Yeah, which is brilliant. The tickets are just absolutely flown out. I think we've done about 80,000 tickets. So I think there's just an alchemy between the two bands together that people generally like both bands. There's obviously a hardcore of their fans and our fans, but there's a lot of just slightly more casual people who think it's a great night out. And looking forward to 2 sold-out nights at Cardiff Castle, especially. Yeah. And to be honest, everywhere, it's just from Edinburgh to Dublin all the way down. It's amazing. And Llangollen, which we don't get a chance to play so often, so really looking forward to that. I better start practicing, which I will be doing later.
Thank you for coming to see us in Diverse. Best of luck this summer with everything Manic Street Preachers. The Lifeblood reissue has just come out. I can see it over there.
Yes, get in there. It's lovely as well. Really nice.
Good on the shelves. It's been so brilliant seeing you in Diverse Music here in Newport. Thanks for coming to meet us. Nicky Wire, what should we play out on?
Well, one of my favourite 12 inches, which I still have the original from, bought in Spillers, is Primitive Painters by Felt, one of the greatest records of all time.